Organic colors may vary. That is fantastic. Well, let me start us off service wise and say hello and welcome. This is service number 281. Oh, there it is, August the 16th, and we should be talking possibly about boundaries. Before we hit the recording, I was sharing these two quotes with the people who get here early. And we're talking about the difference between the two. The first is that a friend is someone who knows all about you and still loves you. And the second one is if I asked you to name all the things you love, how long would it take for you to name yourself? And we were wondering, and I'll not say much more about it, but that's what we were wondering before some of you logged in. We're wondering, is it easier to love a friend than it is to love ourselves? And we came up with, yeah. And then we asked, are we getting better at loving ourselves as we get older? And we said, yeah, seems to be. Individuals might differ, but most all of us said that it's easier to love a friend than it is to love ourselves. And we're all getting better at loving ourselves as we get older. When I say we, let me show you. Here's the people. There's the people. Hello, people. Wave, say hi. And to me. So, welcome to the Saturday service. I'm Rabbi Brian. I want to just go back over the basics. This is about loving kindness. All the entire service, at least that's what it's supposed to be about. The service is supposed to be about loving kindness, how we can have more love, kindness, and compassion in our lives for ourselves and for others. That's the goal of a religious life. Goal of a religious life is kindness. And we can tell it has nothing to do with dogma. If you were looking for readings of ancient Hebrew texts, you're in the wrong service for that. Glad to see all of you who are logged in, who are here. Um, the question to have in mind today is how does it help me be more loving? How does it help me be more loving? And it has been 168. Is that not going to show up? It's been 168 hours since the last time we gathered together. Finally, now it's in focus. No? What have you learned in the last 168 hours? What is there that we talked about last week? What is there that we talked about last week that you want to follow up on, or a topic from a few weeks ago that you had an epiphany about? Um, and I realize that I'm asking probably too deep of a question for a first question right out of the gate. So let me backtrack for a moment, and I'll tell you something where I had an epiphany. We'd been talking about the magical place 4.3. Show of hands so I know. Um, how many of you need a little re-explanation about what 4.3 is? All right, let me do that. Let me do that. Thank you for asking. This is Lev Vygotsky's work called The Zone of Proximal Development. Often in teacher circles, we just call it the ZPD, the Zone of Proximal Development. There's the Z. And it means how the zone is between this place and this place is a zone. Proximal means next. Development is, well, how we develop. And the zone of proximal development says that at the beginning of any task, you can't do it. You don't know how to do it. And proximal development means, well, what's the next zone? The next zone after you can't do it is you can do it, but you need to have your hands held. The next zone of proximal development is 3 and 4, and 3 and 4. And if this is review, think about it for yourself and loving yourself and being kind to yourself. Think about it with regard to um, being kind to other people. If this is one of your first times hearing this, stick with me. Zone of proximal development. You can't do it. You need your hands held. The next zone is about hints, that you need hints from the outside, or you can give yourself hints. They're slightly different. And then finally, this is mastery, that you can do the thing. And my friend Anne, not the Anne on the screen, Anne who is, I'm going to LA on Monday to do Anne's funeral. She just died recently. And Anne told me a story about being at her home, her family of origin home, and her mother said something that was somewhat snarky when Anne was in the kitchen. And Anne and I had talked about how she might say to her mother, "Hey, Mom, when you said that, it really felt like an insult. Is that what you meant to say?" We practice saying that, right? We practice saying that. She could say it. She didn't need, she was in the kitchen. Her mom said something somewhat snarky. And it wasn't until Anne was leaving the room that she had this 4.3 experience where she left the room and she said, "Oh my goodness, I should have done this." So she gave herself a hint. The hint did not come from the outside, the hint came from the inside, but it was, 5 minutes after the fact. And I wanted to offer that we can forgive ourselves. How many of you, um, you understand what that's a bad question. Bad question. Let me try to phrase it in a little better. Have you recently had an experience where you said, "Oh, shoot, I should have blank instead of what I did"? I got at least three people. The rest of you, congratulations on enlightenment. Can I get some laughter? What is with all the muted microphones? Running a live show here. Thank you, Holly. 4.3 is where you realize, thank you, Jen. 4.3 is where you realize after the fact that you should have done something. And then hopefully we have the ability to forgive ourselves. I'm going to brag that I had a perfect. Oh, one other thing about the zone of proximal development. In stressful situations, show me with your hands what happens when you're in a stressful situation. Stressful situation, you fall back one skill set. Good, 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 good. I'm going to brag about an incident that I had. I went to the gym on Wednesday. Today's Saturday. Yeah, I went on Wednesday, and my usual coach wasn't there, and the owner of the gym was there instead. And I know the guy nice enough. And I go to get a kettlebell, and on my way to get the kettlebell, Joey puts me in a headlock and starts pretending to punch me towards the middle, a very broy kind of move. And I'm very proud of myself. So here I am, a humble bragging. And I just said to him, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I was just trying to." I said, "It's all right. It was an expression of love to you. I didn't like it. Let's not ever do that again." I'm so proud of myself that I said it in real time and I didn't tell him to go to hell, and it was a lovely moment. It was not a 4.3, it was a 5.0. Before I move us on, thank you all for the thumbs up. Is there something in the last 168 hours since we last been together that you had that you want to share about one of the tools that we use, or you want to share a humble brag about yourself? being loving kindness? Is there, I'll take either a brag or something that you learned. I learned something last week. Um, and Meg said that I said it 2 weeks ago, but I don't remember saying it 2 weeks ago. So I learned it last week. I'll get to you in a second, Candace. Um, and Meg used the phrase forgiveness stretches. Forgiveness stretches. And I just love that phrase. And that was something in the last 168 hours since we've been together that I got. Go ahead, Candace. Can't hear you, honey. Is it just me? Can any I can't hear anybody anymore. Oh, hold on. No? Uh oh, there we go. Now it's yeah, I yeah, I don't know where I lost you, but I know I called on Candace and then things went funny. So go ahead, Candace. Do it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Maria, I see that Facebook is only hearing me. I
Yeah.
think I just fixed that. Thank you for pointing that out. Also, my friends on Facebook, if there was something in the last 168 hours that you picked up from what we've talked on before, I am now watching the Facebook chat. No, I'm not. I'm about to. There we go. So friends on Facebook, please share as well. Okay. Hi. Hello, friends.
Oh.
Look at all your faces.
Um, I have something to share.
Do it.
I last week when you asked people, you know, um, do you need help? Like, do you need support? I noticed how difficult it was for people to ask for support, and two, their response when they finally did, ask for support. And that got me thinking about it during the week, And so I was feeling in kind of in a funk during the week. And so I decided to try it, you know, let people know that I needed support. And I said something to my son about being in the funk. And he called me later, like actually did reach out and um, try to help me feel better. Both of my sons, two of my sons did. And it was nice, to know that they thought enough of it to want to make sure I was okay,
And
So that
also,
made me feel a
Holly,
little better.
Holly, you did a huge thing. You asked.
It
You
was huge.
asked.
It's
You
not
said,
easy, especially for me.
yeah, what's funny is all the rest of the people who are here are really good at asking for help.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It's
saw
just
that.
you,
I saw that
Holly.
last week. Yeah.
So last week, if you weren't here last week we went towards vulnerability, and I have a note here that I wanted to. It says danger on it, vulnerability ahead. I don't know always what the impact of what I do is. Sometimes I only find that out afterwards. So impact and intent are not always the same. And also, when we are vulnerable, almost, well, not almost, to a fault, every one of us has been hurt when we have been vulnerable.
Hmm.
We've also gotten love when we've been vulnerable, but we've been hurt when we've been vulnerable. And a lot of us get a little gun shy, feel exposed to say, I need help. That's a scary thing to do. And last week we had some real brave people, and then I actually called on some people where I might not have should have done that. And for that I owe an apology. But I also remember that forgiveness stretches, and I have apologized to the individual. And I just want it to be known that if you saw that happen last week, I apologize. I apologize deeply. Vulnerability is a tricky one. It's like a flame, and we are a moth, and we're attracted to it, but we're also really scared by it. Being vulnerable is really scary. Ollie, bonus points. You not only did the vulnerable thing of telling your kids that you needed help, and then you told us about it. That's just absolutely beautiful. And it's almost unnecessary to get the praise from this group because you already got most of the goodness. But the whole group is proud of you too. I saw all the thumbs up that were happening. Good
Thank
job,
you.
Holly. Give yourself a gold star. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, thanks so much. Uh, Last week I was part of the setting boundaries and the compliments portion, and I don't know, it was definitely vulnerable for me as a new individual, and I've been spinning about this thing all week long, and I really love that Holly just volunteered because it made me feel like I could also volunteer. But and I've been writing a speech to the group on what I would like to say to make sure that my points are better said, I suppose, because I don't feel like when I just talk out loud that maybe the right words come out. But but before, or maybe I don't even share that, maybe I do, but I want to just give a huge shout out to Holly herself because when I was in that spot, I actually was talking and had a one on one with her and was able to talk about all of those vulnerabilities and insecurities I was having. And she was able to listen and support and give me the encouragement that I needed to know that it's not really that big of a deal, you know? And I just appreciate you, Holly, for being there for me.
I was happy to be there, Justin. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It is amazing how we only can ex- it's much easier to get help when we ask for it. It's much easier to get support when we ask for it. Hey, I have some homework for everybody. Ask for help. Oh my God, I just saw like four people's faces do this. I kid you not. I just said, ask for help, and I saw this on the screen. That's the low knowing laughter that I'm hearing there. I just saw people clap. Be ask for help.
Oh God, that's me.
It feels good to be asked for help, doesn't it? Somebody
Does.
asks you for help. You want to help them, don't you? Maybe that make it a little bit easier for us to ask to be helped.
You,
J-
Can I do a thing?
Emily, do a thing.
Um, yes, this is, well, yeah, I guess it's sort of an atta girl. I, I was going to spend a week in Boise, just to check it out, to see if it was a place that would be a good place for me. And Dan and Karen took me. We all drove down together. I took my car too, and got me settled in this little Airbnb. And after 4 days, 4 days, I could see it was not my spot. And I called and threw in the towel. And I said, I give up. This is not my spot. And I came home early. I even wasted money because I'd paid for a week at the Airbnb. And that, oh, I really felt terrible for wasting money. But I
I
got
think what
back
I'm
and I
hearing,
said,
Emily,
now
is
I know.
yeah.
Now
What
I know it isn't my spot.
I'm hearing you say you're proud of yourself and you prioritized you.
Yes. However, at the same time, I would also like to let Anne know that I gave Tom and Eric a hug. I met her friends
Oh,
at
wonderful. I've sent them a
that
book and
church that I go to.
that's wonderful. Thank you, Emily, for doing that. Let me go
Way to
back to
go,
the
Emily.
That's
the let me go back to Emily, you prioritized yourself. You took care of
amen.
you.
I did.
What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful thing.
Rabbi,
Yes.
can you make me host again? My internet was crapping out.
Yes. Hold on. Um, did I show you all this?
Yeah.
Did I show it? I
not
know I
seeing it.
showed it in a small
No.
group. I don't think it's hard to tell what it is because most of you are not familiar with what a rubber keychain rubber chicken looks like.
Oh,
Looks like that.
This is exactly what a keychain rubber chicken looks like. It looks exactly like this. And
I
I would
like
like
that.
to introduce the rubber chicken keychain as a great teacher about compliments. I received in the mail a rubber chicken keychain with a note from my friend Eric. It says, Brian, this may or may not solve lots of problems. Love, Eric. Well, he's right. It may or may not solve lots of problems. What I said to
Very
Eric,
logical.
what I said to Eric was, thank you for the rubber chicken keychain. That was surely unexpected. I didn't
And
know
did
what
you
else to
thank
say.
Shirley?
It was surely unexpected. And
Did you thank Shirley?
I did not. I did not. Um, I
I'm glad
realized
I
that my
threw you off.
response to Eric about the gift should be the same response that I have when I'm given a compliment. Wow, thank you. That was sure unexpected. Maybe not those exact words, but I've been doing a lot of 4.3, a lot of, oh, dang it, someone just gave me a compliment and I blew it off. I missed that one. And I'm trying to get better at taking in compliments and feeling heard and seen by people. So that's my introduction to compliments. It's called the rubber chicken of compliments. Um, what do you say when somebody gives you a compliment?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Emily,
Was
you did
surely
such a great
unexpected.
job of taking care of yourself.
Brock, Brock, Brock.
Ollie, you did a great job taking care of yourself. Justin, wonderful
Thank
job
you.
speaking up for yourself. Okay, that's the rubber chicken of compliments. I have not told Eric that it is actually come in very handy, the rubber chicken of compliments. I have a topic for us today, but before I get much further in, um, any, yeah, the Rebecca, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I think that there's a complexity here because sometimes we're faced with what we feel is the ethical and moral thing to do. And it makes us vulnerable because we may be in a situation where people don't like the stand that we're taking, even
Can you
if
give an
it's
example, please?
yeah.
Yeah.
My three grown sons who are loving, smart, wonderful guys, because I'm 82, they said, Mom, you have to go into assisted living. And I said, I'm still driving and going to the gym. What are you talking about? And so it became very vulnerable for me to find my voice
Mm,
and to be able to go against the three of them, what they were saying, and say, oh, I have listened to my inner voice, and it's not time to make that change. And after they heard it and they recognized the strength, they said, well, I think you're probably wise about this. So they backed away.
love it.
But I really felt vulnerable in
Yeah.
facing three sons that were trying to really deal with their own anxiety, about having a mother that is older. Yeah. Yeah.
Well done, Rebecca. Again, this is one of those where we can all be proud of you, but I think you're doing all the proud by yourself. And good
Yeah.
on you.
Amen.
Feeling good about it.
And this is a topic that I want us to look at today. But let me see if there's somebody else with something out of left field. Any questions about the Bible that you've always been wondering?
Who wrote it?
Lots of people. Lots of people.
What does it say about rubber chickens?
Not much.
Not comfortable.
So I want us to read through.
Keychains? Anything?
There's nothing about keychains. Keys are a whole new idea. Thank you. So here's what boundaries sound like. I can help. I cannot do this for you. Starting with the first one here. This is a boundary. A healthy boundary is saying, I could help, I can help, but I can't do this for you. You might add in right now, I can't. It's a boundary. I am not responsible for your emotions. Folks, there are going to be 9 of these, and one of them is going to ring your chimes, and I ask you to write it down so that you can keep with it. I'm not responsible for your emotions. Here's one. I respect your opinion, but I have my own opinions as well. I need you to understand what I'm feeling. I don't need help problem solving right now.
Sometimes.
I'm done talking about this.
Denial.
I've used that one
It is not denial.
anytime.
I understand you're upset, and I'm not okay with being spoken to that way. Right now, I need some time for myself. I'd love to hear more about this later. I understand I'm important to you, and while I care about you, I need some help. And the last of the boundaries,
There's no.
no. No is a full sentence.
Wow.
If you want, I'll send you this in the mail. Just put your address, put your name and address like it would fit on a mailing sticker. I will print it out and I'll send you this.
Great.
Or we put that in the chat.
Put it in the chat, and I'll be glad to send you a copy of those entries. Let's talk for a moment, and then we'll get into boundaries. First, there's this quote. Boundaries are the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously. Boundaries are the distance at which I can love you, I can take care of you, I can do what it is you're asking, and I can take care of myself at the same time. That's what a boundary is.
I love that statement because
This one here.
yeah, because
Say more.
it clarified for me the real value of boundaries. You know, well, I'm not sure how to explain it, but I now know where I want to be and where I want to be in terms of conversation with somebody and where I can be. And it just makes a huge difference.
Thank you, Meg.
I think if you added healthy in front of that word
We're gonna
boundary.
get there
Okay.
we're gonna get there in a second, Diana.
All right.
Question. How many of you have ever said the phrase, I don't want to talk about this. I'd like to talk about something else right now?
Mhm.
About half. It's a scary thing to do. There's a teacher, Miriam de Groof. She's from the Netherlands, and I don't know how to say her last name. It's got some consonants together that I'm not sure how they work. But she says that when we set a boundary with someone, we have an expectation in our head that the other person is going to say, "Oh my gosh, great, good for you. You just set a boundary. Setting boundaries are so hard to do." And we're expecting the other person to, if only in our minds, we're expecting them to be proud of us. And usually she explains that's not how boundaries are heard. The boundaries are often heard. Jane points out that when a boundary is made, the first thing that the other person's going to do is to test it. There are porous.
Right, Rabbi, sometimes the first thing they do is they say, I don't understand, then they test it.
Okay. Yeah. There are porous boundaries, there are flexible boundaries, and there are rigid boundaries. Not saying any one of them is right, but in any situation, you're 5 minutes late. Well, that could be something that nobody talks about. It could be important, or it could be so we lock the door and we're not letting you in. Boundaries run a spectrum, not that one of them is right, one of them is wrong. And Diana, you were going to add in something else.
Just the concept of a healthy boundary takes into account both of us, like your first quote.
Yeah.
Whereas porous and rigid may not.
There are lots more bad boundaries than there are good boundaries. That's for sure.
I don't know.
Let's keep our eyes on how can we maintain more healthy boundaries in our lives. Anyone have a thing in their life where they need to set a boundary? I promise you will not need to tell the whole group, but just give me a show of hands. You got a boundary that needs maintenance?
Yeah, maybe.
Anything that we can be of support to hear you? Okay. Anyone want to let me leave that open for a second. There are also boundaries we have within ourselves. I told myself I wasn't going to drink again.
It kind of fits along your moral code, doesn't it?
Say a little bit more, Harold.
If your moral code is pretty rigid about what you think is right and
I
wrong,
gotcha.
your boundaries are going to be set according to your moral code.
The other thing too, for me, is
Can you speak a
how do
little louder,
people
Ray?
The other thing to me about this is how do other people respond to the boundaries you set? How many of us have said, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about that now, or that's, I don't believe that. And you're simply speaking your mind. And all of a sudden it's physical violence, or, oh, you don't love me anymore. And that kind of thing. So you've still set the boundaries. So how do you deal with that? Luckily, I've got to the point where the answer to that is no. It has nothing about my love for you. It is about me protecting myself.
Thank you, Ray. And that's great to practice in the off season. When you're not in front of the person who's telling you that you don't love them anymore.
Right.
How many of you in your
When I
head can repeat back at least some of what Ray said? You set a boundary with someone, you say, I don't want to talk about politics anymore tonight. Well, if you loved me, we'd talk about whatever you. How many of you can not verbalize, but imagine what your response could be? Go ahead, Steve.
no, I was coming from a similar place from Ray, that when a boundary is set, I think the first response is, how dare you? And where you may get support from it ultimately, but the immediate response is a sort of rejection. How dare you stop me here, or set this up? And then with time, it can grow to be more respectable. But I think, like Ray, the first response is negative.
Right. The other person's not
In
going to
most
be
situations.
they're not going to say, congratulations, you did a great boundary. We have to be ready for them. Go ahead,
Jane
Rebecca.
is right.
Then
When
Harold.
I do setting a boundary like that, I also add, when can we, I'm not ready to talk about this now. Let's set a time in the future for us to talk about it. What about tomorrow morning over breakfast or lunch or dinner? But allowing the person to set the time, and that seems to set more of a chance for some kind of reconciliation on whatever is up.
It's exactly back to this. It's the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously. I can do what it is you want, but just not right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful.
But if you don't give a future time, it's like a cutoff. Like, I don't want to talk about this, is a
Right.
cutoff. Yeah. But if you say, and let's talk about it tomorrow or the next day.
I just had a thought that setting a boundary is also being vulnerable. It's setting yourself up to say, I have needs. And they might not intersect with yours. And it's vulnerable to be the nail that stands up, the nail that pokes out of the board. You get hit with the hammer. We're going to go into small groups in a moment. I have to to I have to judge by Maria's face how ready she is to set up small group rooms.
How many people do you want?
I would like
in
5
each?
peoples per group. And we're gonna do 7 minutes and then it will give you that bonus 8 minute. You're going to go into small groups, talk about a time that you set a boundary and it worked, or talk about a time you set a boundary and it didn't work, or a time, just use the word boundary and we should be fine. And I would love on the way back through our small groups, what not everyone's in your small group, so there's going to be some learning that happens in your room that could benefit the whole group. So I'm going to ask if there's something particularly salient or that sticks out for you. Would you call that one, make a little note so that when we get back together, we can all learn from whatever it is you learned. And I will be interacting with the people who are on Facebook and Zoom. Maria, open up the doors and let people, if you want to stand back, stay back. You do not need to share. It's about boundaries after all. You can say no, thank you. Go for it, Maria.
There we go. Just so you know, my internet keeps going wacky and like, so it helps if I turn my video off sort of
Okay.
thing, but it freezes and unfreezes. So
Seems to be up for now.
yeah,
Well, Tanisa and Candace, you are welcome to share. We can't see you, so it's hard for me to know if you have look on your face, which is, oh, I have something I want to share. Unmute yourselves and feel free to share anything you have about boundaries. Of course, not sharing and holding your own boundary, that's perfectly fine too.
I'll
Jack,
be right back.
bye, Maria. Hey, Jack. Jack, I can't hear you if you're talking at all. I'm gonna, Jack, tell me if you can hear me. I'm gonna say hello to the Facebook people. I know I have 4 people watching on Facebook and YouTube. Hello. I might have more than that. Can't tell. Jack, we can't hear you. Can you hear me? Jack, I got nothing going on here. It's going to be a long 6 minutes. Well, nothing's happening there. Jack? Anything, Jack? Nothing, Jack. Hi, Maria. Welcome back. Um, can you give me an idea? We still have about 5 minutes left.
5 minutes. Can I give you an idea
Yes.
on boundaries? Is that
Yeah.
what yeah. You know, when like the first ones that you were going through of what people could say,
Yeah.
right? The one that really sticks out for me is, and this is one I'm practicing, not always good at it. You know, I can help you with this or I can do this, but not right now. Like adding in that, but not right now.
Yeah.
Right.
I need
Sort
to
of
take
thing.
care of myself right now.
Well, all right. I don't add that part.
That's quiet inside.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah.
They're still not hearing me.
No, now we hear you,
Oh,
Jack.
yeah, we hear you.
Jack,
Wow. Okay, hold on a minute.
we're holding, Jack.
What if the other person doesn't know that you've set a boundary?
I don't know. Is it a boundary?
Yes,
But how
yes.
do they know? You can't. Oh, I think what I can do with what you're saying is sometimes we set boundaries without telling the other person,
Yes.
and then we get
Yes.
really mad when they break that boundary,
Well,
right? Because we haven't ever said to them, "Please stop bringing up the Jets. I hate that football team. It really upsets me. I have PTSD." We don't tell them that, and then they bring up the Jets, and we go like, "Oh," but we never told them.
true, but I'm changing my interaction with that person. Which
We can hear you still.
okay, which is my boundary. And so they may never figure it out. But
Right.
still,
So
I know, but they're not necessarily like I'm protecting myself
I see.
so
I
that
see.
yeah, they might not be smart enough to figure out that I have set that boundary, and so I have changed my amount of interaction and how I interact.
Okay, so let's say you don't want anyone talking about the color of your hair anymore,
Right.
but you don't tell us that, hey, folks, it makes me uncomfortable when you talk about my hair. I'm going to ask you to please stop. But you don't tell us
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, that one would be hard. That one would be hard.
Give me a different one.
What is going on here? Well, I set a boundary with a family member. And so when I see them again, now I don't know why my camera's not working. Like I have changed like I just.
Jack, is too loud for me.
There, let's switch that.
It's too loud.
Like I'm just sort of not going to, I don't, how do I explain this? If there's other people in the room, I don't need to interact with them. Right.
But they don't, what happens if they don't know you don't want to interact with them?
Well, they don't really go out of their way to interact with me.
So, okay.
Or if they come here, right? I can reduce my interaction because I don't specifically say go downstairs to see them or to have lunch down there or something like that, right? I just do my own
gotcha.
stuff.
I think
Yeah.
this is really you're pointing out something really large, which is we often think a boundary, but we didn't actually make the boundary.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't actually say, please don't talk about my hair. It's too much for me.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And then we get really pissed off.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's great little learning that's come out of this discussion.
Yeah. All right. Let's close these rooms.
Close these rooms. Jack, we can hear you a little bit.
Okay, that's all right. It's just.
Oh, now I can hear you perfectly. The headset no longer is functioning.
Yeah, I took it off. I don't know why. Can't figure it out.
A lot of things I can't figure out. Good thing you're patient.
Yeah, but I do have a lot to say about boundaries.
Well, shoot while people are coming in.
Well, I think if you lined up 100 people, maybe 95% of them would know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I don't. I firmly believe that most people don't know that they have boundaries. So
That
they
they
just,
should have them. Yeah.
yeah, and that proves to be difficult. If you bring it up, they're in denial. Huge one. So in all my lifetime, I've learned just to step back and just see what the next moment brings.
Yeah, that good on you.
I don't back off in the sense of forgetting it. I push through into something else.
Well, we got people have returned back to us as a group. Um, Jack was just saying that some people don't even know that they can set boundaries or
Yes,
ever
that's
really
true.
have.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
I think that's very, very true. Maria, would you like to share the insight from our group? Or you can boundary it and I'll share it. Oh, Maria's frozen.
That's a boundary.
I'll share it.
Technical
So
boundary.
Maria pointed out that sometimes we set boundaries in our head without telling the other person.
Ooh, yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
really don't want them talking about my hair anymore. But we didn't tell them, hey, would you please stop? It makes me uncomfortable when we talk about my hair. But we didn't
And
tell
that's why
them.
you wear that hat.
And then they talk about our hair or hat or anything, and we get pissed off because I set a boundary there.
Mm-hmm.
What learning came out of your small group? Go, Candace.
Uh, well, there are several good things, but um, when people just don't accept your boundary and ignore it.
Yeah.
I
Um,
think adding to that, when boundaries conflict was a really good one that came out of our group. Like I set my boundary, you set your boundary, and they don't match.
Yeah, they don't always. Um, I will admit I screwed up and I did the example. If we can do them in first person singulars, that's even better. I didn't do that myself, so all's forgiven. What other wisdom came out of your group?
Yeah, I learned that I have a tendency when somebody sets a boundary to say the unthinkable, which is thank you for telling me.
Wait.
And
No, that's not unthinkable. That's brilliant. Somebody sets a
no, but
boundary
you
with
told
you.
me, Rabbi, that the right answer is to challenge the boundary and to question it. So I had to practice that with our group, and it was elucidating. It was helpful.
I got a little bit lost there, but
Al did a great thing the other day. He asked me a question and I said, no, I'm not going to answer that. And he says, okay, thank you for telling me. And that was marvelous. And you know that. You're being sarcastic. Rabbi and sarcasm don't always go together.
I missed this one.
Thank you, Meg. Thank you for getting me.
I'm going to get
I
this.
appreciate you.
I will
The
get
look
this
of
later.
bafflement is great.
You wanted to run this, Rabbi?
I'm getting the vibe that it's just me who's missing the thing, and I'm okay with that. It seems like everyone else understands what's going on, and that's all right by me.
This is recorded. You'll get it on the
I'll
rebound,
get it
Rabbi.
later. I want to give everyone a gift about boundaries, but let me do that after these few announcements. First announcement, and this is just true. I got this on very good authority. This is going to be true in your life. Down the road, there will be potholes. I got this quote this week that goes along with it. Life's under no obligation to give us what we expect. Other announcements. Oh, If you want to know where you're headed, I can tell you that exactly. Next stop, slightly older. This will be running both on the local and express tracks. As far as I pushed that analogy, I thought that was fun. And then there's everyone's favorite.
Back it up.
It's okay to be on.
Not to be okay.
Okay.
It's okay not to be okay. You're having a hard time. That's okay. We don't all have to be performing at 100% all of the time.
I have an announcement.
Go.
Can you make me host again so I can create the breakout rooms?
Yes. And then Dan, you had an announcement you wanted
Yes.
to share with us.
So I'm giving the talk, which we call Perspective at West Hill United tomorrow. It's about misinformation. People might be interested. We meet at it starts at 10:30 Eastern. It's on Zoom. We do really good Zoom. westhill.net if you want to find it.
Would you also
And
put that
you can listen
information
on
in
the-
the chat for people to see?
Yeah.
Thank you. Here's my little gift to you. We used to call these the no thank you tissues, but I am renaming them the boundary tissues. Boundary tissues go like this. Somebody offers you a thing, you are allowed to have the exact same reaction. If I were to offer you this tissue, and one of the lucky people who put their names and addresses in for the boundaries will also be receiving this. If
somebody will say, thank you. I want to give that to DOGE because they wanted to check your DNA.
Right. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you,
Everyone has the right, if life offers you or someone offers you a dirty tissue, you have the right to say,
No, thank
No.
you.
no, thank you.
No, thank you.
No,
And we're going to
thank you.
practice that with the harder things in our lives. Good.
I want to hear what Maria had to say.
Go ahead, Rita. That was Rita. Thank you, Rita. Maria wanted to be made host, but do you have more to say, Maria?
No, other than we need to do the prayer
Let's do the
list.
prayer list and wrap us up. Go ahead, Maria.
Okay. These are the individuals to whom we are sending light and love. Alex and John, Cullen and kids, Seth, Irma P. and her family, Star, Jillian and Jen, Ashley, Horatio Meyer and Dee Dee Ford, and Rita S. If there is another person in our community to whom we can offer light and love, please put their name in the chat and I will add them to the list on Facebook. And for the people who aren't named, but who are in our thoughts, we send them light and love as well.
Thank you, Maria. Take a minute. Well, thank you all very much for coming. If you're new, and we'll stop the recording in a moment, and then we have small groups. There's a poetry room, a deep dive, and the first time people are encouraged to either go to the rabbi's room, which is where I go to hang out if you have a question specifically for me, or Maria's welcome center and tool shed, because we thought that was a funny name for Maria's group. You're all welcome to go there. Let's take a moment, wave to each other, say thank you for coming, and invite your friends to join us again next week. I'm going to end the recording. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.